Right now we have Jason Lytle. Maybe you know him from his solo work. Maybe you are a big fan of the new supergroup. Do you hate the word supergroup?
I'm fine with it. I don't care.
I like supergroup, so I'll go with it. The Banquet, where Jason's with a bunch of his friends. We'll talk about that in a second. And maybe Grandaddy is your way into Jason Lytle. New Grandaddy album, which is fantastic, by the way. And I should tell you, it's our album of the week next week on The Current. And the guy who's reviewing it, Brian Oak, our morning show guy, he said to me, when you talk to Jason, just like give him a hug or let him know that I feel him deeply on this new record. Can we talk about the new record a little bit? So, it sounds like it was kind of a tough time. Maybe the last Grandaddy album?
Maybe this. You're saying maybe this one is the last Grandaddy?
I read an interview with you, and you said, yeah, this might be the last Grandaddy album.
I think I always say that. Yeah, I've been saying that for a while. No, but it was I know for a fact it's not because we actually signed a 2-album deal with the
Good.
label. So logistically, I hear no, there'll be another.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is a deeply emotional album.
Yeah, I mean, I had to send the heavy equipment in pretty deep.
Yeah.
And what it came back out with was the album. So it was. I'm not gonna act like it was easy, but I've been lucky to be able to do this, and actually to have an outlet to where I can kind of go through something like that in life and have some way to kind of deal with it.
Yeah.
You know? There's a lot of people that don't. You
No.
know, and they're just out there sort of living in chaos and eating pain meds and drinking themselves to death
And listening
else.
to your album. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of the nice thing about being a musician. It's, yeah, you have to share your pain, but as somebody who goes through emotional things, it's nice to have something where you can just toss it on and just cry, and feel your own feelings through somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, it's just being human,
Yeah.
And but I mean, it's that being said, too. It's just a lot of just a documenting of a time, and it's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
There's plenty of humor, and I did have a lot of fun getting the songs to sound as interesting as I could, and having all kinds of using all my tools and the gear, and there was a lot of enjoyment in the process, but it was definitely, I think there had to be a lot of heaviness in order to get the results that are the album.
Get to the light, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jason, you also played an awesome show last night that the line was like around the block, and sadly I could not get into. But Banquet, can we? So it's you, members of Band of Horses, Travis, Midlake, Franz Ferdinand. How did this come to be? What brought all of you guys together and decided to actually perform together?
Eric from Midlake is he's the main cheerleader of the whole deal.
Yeah.
And I think he realizes that he's dealing with a lot of guys that are pretty busy. And there's been some long-standing relationships that have led to this.
Yeah.
And I think he just sort of dreamt up the concept and was just like, all right, I'll just ask these guys and see who's into it. And I don't even know if there's any guarantee that it's going to remain this configuration, but I think in order to kick it off, he wanted, this is what he came up with.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think everybody was like, sounds like a great idea. I don't know how possible it is, just, due to time constraints and other obligations and stuff. But I have a feeling it's going to be like whoever we can get, and it will probably change. And there might at some point actually be some shows that include everybody, but that would be slightly miraculous.
Yeah. So how did you guys even do the recording session? Was it just like kind of piecemeal, whoever's in town, we kind of like get together?
Yeah, I mean, there was some stuff done remotely, but, I, for one, did, I went to Denton and, for 3 days, and I had these songs that I was just like, I didn't know, what I could do with them. I have a lot of songs that I don't quite know what category they fit in.
Yeah.
So it was nice that I had those to offer up, and yeah, I just took them to Denton and we worked on them for a while, and so that's how mine got done. And the whole process was different for everybody, but I think it made a huge deal actually being able to hammer out ideas and be in a room with guys. And
Was that kind of a different project? I mean, I assume it's different when it's Grandaddy versus your solo stuff versus actually being in a room with a bunch of other guys who are used to being like, all right, here's my vision, this is who I am. How'd that dynamic work with you guys?
I don't know. I've been really, really lucky in that regard, and I kind of go out of my way not to work with idiots or
Yeah.
people that I don't want to hang out
Anybody
with.
who's a jerk, yeah, get out of here.
But yeah, I've been fortunate like that, and most of the time I do really enjoy hanging out with the people that I get to work with, and I'm totally receptive and accepting of other people's ideas, and actually I don't get to work like that as often as I probably should. So when I do get a lot out of it, and I do, and I just get better at doing what I do by watching other people.
Yeah, kind of having them push you in new directions.
Yeah, absolutely. I need to. I'm getting into my old man routines, and I kind of need to be snapped out of them every now and then.
Yeah, got to push you. All right, so we're going to pull you out of your routine a little bit. We put a couple questions in the hat, so I don't know what you're going to get, but pull out 3 and toss them in my hand, and we'll see what we see what we get here.
Oh, God.
I know. Wait, no, don't read them.
All
Don't
right,
cheat.
all right. Gotcha. On the spot.
On the spot. It's like other questions, but now they're from a piece of paper. All right, we'll start off easy. What was your first job?
First job was working for my neighbor assembling trophies in a trophy shop. And it was to pay off the drum set that he sold to my dad.
He was being, that's a true kindness, because that's not even a job. like he looked around the room and he was like, I guess we could have you.
I think my dad was hell-bent on making sure that I had some sort of job. So when I wasn't working with the guy assembling trophies, he actually worked part-time cleaning office buildings, janitorial.
Yeah.
So he would schlep me around, and I did that as well. I think my dad was just like, I don't care what he's doing, as long as he's working and he's realizing that life is not a free ride.
Yeah, no idle hands.
Nope.
In this world. What's a decision that changed your life?
I have mentioned this often of how crazy or how different things would have been if I wouldn't have. I've been very, very involved with skateboarding my whole life. It's like the only tattoo I have on my body. Not that this legitimizes it. But, and I was sponsored, traveling. I was like really kind of like making my way up the ranks. And I had always dabbled with music, but never really considered, I wasn't trained. I didn't even think of it as like some sort of viable, respectable way of continuing my life. But anyways, I had this really bad knee injury. I tore my ACL, and it was a pretty violent injury, and it took me out for about 8 months. And once I realized that it wasn't something that was going to heal on its own, required all kinds of surgery and lots of money and insurance, which none of those I had, I realized that this is probably it. My skateboarding, like at that level, it was over. But I had become so obsessed with it, and it was such a huge part of my life that I've started feeling that void, and I was having withdrawals. Like I needed something to be like super focused and something to live for and something to like pour my creative energy into, and that ended up being music. And that's pretty much when I decided to focus, as much time as I began focusing on recording and learning how to write songs, and I got really into the home recording thing, and so if the skateboarding thing wouldn't have come to an abrupt end, then the music thing wouldn't have started up, and then.
Well, it's weird. Serendipity.
Yeah.
Happy accidents, I guess. Do you still skateboard?
I do. I still roll. Yeah, I got the knee surgery like a long time ago, and I try to stay in relatively okay shape. I still roll around with my friends and stuff. Just keep it light.
Yeah, keep it easy.
Yep.
Okay, this one is very South by Southwest centric. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner tacos?
Probably dinner. That's weird. I'm like, I do it so wrong. I don't eat barbecue when I come here. I'm like a salad fanatic. I like salad. So
There's a good salad
I'm on the
joint
hunt
down the
for, like,
street,
good
man.
salads always.
Yeah, I already scoped it out for you. I got you covered.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So no doubt. Wow. All right.
Let's
It's
just
okay.
add-
We can still be friends.
Yeah, nah. I mean, at the end, I'll eat whatever at some point. But it's like, yeah.
We'll get you like a little salad inside of a taco shell. Same thing.
I'm usually traveling. That sounds great, actually. Yeah, I'm usually traveling. I'm usually having to pace myself.
Yeah.
You know, and we're at the front end of like about a month of touring right now, so I don't want to come home like a big bloated pig. You know,
No.
so I just kind of have to like take.
Yeah, pump the brakes a little bit on that one. Well, Jason Lytle, thank you so much for stopping by. The new album out from Grandaddy, which will not be the last album, is called Last Place, and Jason's also a part of Banquet, new album out from them as well. So, Jason, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And it's live from South by Southwest. Thanks for watching. Oh, we should ask you about Prince. I'm sorry, we're from Minnesota. How could I forget Prince? You know, as Minnesota.
Does the hair have anything to do with it?
I know. Yeah, a little. No, Prince has been weighing heavily on my heart and a lot of people in Minnesota. And so we've been asking people and kind of collecting thoughts, memories, anything about Prince. Do you have a song or a story?
I guess it says a lot that my #1 karaoke, my favorite karaoke song to do, that usually does pretty well, and it's in my range,
Yeah.
is When Doves Cry.
I did not expect that. I thought you were going to say When You Were Mine.
No.
Wow, and
And
Doves Cry.
I love that song so much. I love the production.
Yeah.
I love everything about it. I love the sentiment.
That was the first song when I realized that Prince could go down deep too.
Yeah.
Not just the falsetto. That's a classic one.
I love it. I love it so much.
Oh, we'll have to karaoke sometime. Well, thank you so much for listening, and thank you again, Jason Lytle, for
You bet.
stopping by. It's live from South by Southwest.